Hello everyone, today I want to show you how to sew a straight or pencil skirt with lining. This is the front piece of my skirt. I have a detailed video on how to cut a pencil or straight skirt. So you're going to cut the fabric and the lining the same shape and size. Then the lining, you're going to make it shorter than the fabric. You're going to cut off 1 inch at the hem of the lining for the front piece and the back pieces. We have 2 pieces at the back. Then you're going to shift the lining down to the hem. You're going to pin it down and you're going to sew a 0.5 inch at the hem. For the back piece, as you can see, I also trimmed off 1 inch at the hem. So I'm going to shift it down again. I'll pin it and I'm going to sew a 0.5 inch at the hem. This is the second part of the back piece. As you can see, I've made it shorter also. I'm going to pin it down and I'm going to sew the hem by a 0.5 inch. The reason why I'm cutting part of the lining is so that the lining will be showing in front when I'm done. I don't want the lining to shift to the front at all. So I've gone ahead to sew this front piece at the hem. I'm going to shift the lining back up and then I'm going to pin it by the side. So part of the fabric is going to shift into the lining. So that is why I made it shorter. For the second side, I'm also going to do the same thing. I'll shift the fabric inside, then I'll pin it down. I'll go ahead and sew this by a 0.25 inch. This is the back piece. I've sewn the hem. So now I'm going to shift it up. The same thing I did for the front piece, I'll do it for the 2 pieces for the back. So I'll shift it up, make sure part of the fabric is shifted into the lining. Then I'm going to pin it down and I'll sew the 2 sides by 0.25 inch. This is the second piece for the back. I'll do the same thing again. After sewing the sides, I'm going to turn it inside out. I'm using pin to bring it out, to bring out the edges. This is one part of the back. I'm going to do the same for the front piece and the second part of the back piece. This is the hem. See the fabric that I shifted inside. So this is the reason for cutting the lining shorter than the fabric. Now I want to mark my dart. So I'll be using 7 inches for the length of my dart. If it's going to be bandless, 7 inches is fine. But if you're attaching a band at the top there, then you can use 5 inches as the length of your dart. So I've marked where the dart is going to stop. From the center front, I used my nipple to nipple measurement or bust apart measurement, which is 4 inches. I'm going to place the back piece right side facing each other, and then I'll place the front piece on it, remembering to leave space for my zip allowance. So I'll place it properly and use a pin, insert a pin all the way through to the back. Then I'll flip it to the back and mark where the pin is. So I'll mark where the dart is going to be and also where the dart is going to end. So I'm going to fold it, and this is the way I'm going to sew the dart. I'm going to pin it down so that it will be easy for me to go and sew the dart. This is the front piece. I'll pin down the two darts, and for the back piece I'm also going to pin down the darts. I've gone ahead and sewn my dart. This is the front piece. Okay, this is the back piece. For the back pieces, I'm going to place them on top each other. Then where I have left space for my zip allowance, at the hem line I'm going to measure 7 inches upward. That will be for my slit. So you can measure whatever you want for your slit, but I'll be measuring 7 inches from the hem of the skirt upwards. Then I'll come up to the waist area and I'll measure 7 inches also. That is where I'm going to fix my zip. Then I'm going to stitch the remaining parts. So from here down to here, I'm going to sew about 1 inch from the edge. So depending on what your zip allowance is, that is what you will use to sew that place. I've gone ahead to sew it. This is what it looks like. So down there I have my slit, I have an opening for my slit, while up there I have an opening for my zip or zipper. I'm going to go ahead to fix my zip here. I have a detailed video on how to fix zip. Please check it out. I finished fixing my zip. So you can either leave your slit this way, you just stitch it here, and then you can hem it all the way down. Or you can have it overlapping this way. So you just stitch it here, then you hem the remaining place. So this other one will be on top of it, it will just overlap it. I've gone ahead to sew this. So I did the overlapping style. This is what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and hem this place with needle and thread later. My back piece is ready. I'm going to take the front piece and place it on it, right sides facing each other. I'll arrange it properly. Then I'm going to sew the side. So whatever your size seam allowance is, that is what you will sew. If it is 1 inch or 1.5, you sew that. I've gone ahead to sew mine, and this is what it looks like. Sewing my skirt this way makes it easy for me to adjust it anytime I want to adjust the side. This is what the skirt looks like after turning it inside out. Now it's time to tidy this waist area. So if you're fixing a band, you can go ahead and fix a band. I have a detailed video on how to fix a band also. Please check it out. Or if it is bandless, that means you're not putting a band, you can tidy it in different ways. You can either use a bias, you take a bias tape and use it to tidy it, or you cut this fabric and use it like you're sewing facing. This is how I've gone ahead to tidy mine. So I cut a black piece of fabric and used it to tidy the edge. This is the hem of the skirt. This is how it looks. This is how the back looks like. That's my slits. I made it in such a way that I can tie it as a bow at the back. This is my zip. So this is the final result of the skirt. You can do your straight skirt or your pencil skirt this way. It's the same process.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please kindly like, share, comment, subscribe if you're new here, and click the notification bell. Thank you.